Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes.
Paris Open, live from the, what is this, the Paris Expo?
It's somewhere in Paris.
Port to their side. I've heard all sorts of things.
Some great stuff.
Courage, joined by Momo. We're basically friends now after all the time we've spent here over the last 48 hours. I feel great. Day 2.
Yeah. We've tried a lot of French things. You've had a
very excited
chance
to be here for the
some
CWL
French. You've met a lot of people.
Open.
But you've learned something, Jack.
I
think that's the main thing to take somewhere in Paris.
Port to their side. I've heard all sorts of things.
Some great stuff.
France now, joined by Momo. We're basically of the day. We now our pool play teams have spent here over the last 48 hours. First match of the day on the main stage.
We've tried a lot of French things.
Splyce
You've had
I know
the chance of
on
obviously
the
speaking
stage
some
right
French.
now. I
You've
think
met a lot of
doing
people.
something in French.
You've learned something, Jack.
They're
I
inviting
think that's
the
the main
players
thing
up.
to take away
Them
from
all
this.
set up. I've been trying my best. They might do a dance. I couldn't get about
I mean, it's happened.
Our first
There's been dances going on. I think
we're
there's
going to touch on, but
of course, myself and Jack are trying to speak French. We don't understand exactly what's going on. We get it there, I would say. You know,
on the stage right now,
by the end of the weekend, we'll have that unlocked. Don't worry.
They're inviting the players on. They're getting them all set up, doing everything in my power. They might do a dance. I understand.
I mean, it's happened before. There's been dances going on. I think there is very different. Of course, myself and Jack, we've been trying to speak French. We don't understand exactly what we get it there, I would say. You know, give us a few more days by the end of the weekend. We'll have that unlocked, don't worry.
Epsilon Esports joined us on that. Pool B, Luminosity Gaming. Pool C, Team Envious. Pool D, Enigma 6. Top seeds in these pools. Our pools
exactly. These are the players and teams that can go on, to play. That's it. We're not just it looks like we've got our players coming out though. Which are that's the boys of Splyce. Bracket teams, which are kind of shot away from Great Britain. Of course, you've got Jared from Ireland, just across the pond. You kind of shot yet, just coming for you.
I'm saying, wow, thank you for being with me.
Are we the transfer players?
Bonjour, welcome from Atlanta, obviously E6. I think they translated. I think he asked in French. These could be the top seeds in these pools.
Let's let it go in English. Exactly. These are the players and teams that can go on to place top 4 and top 3. It looks like we've got our players coming out though. Oh, that is the boys of Splyce. All the way from Great Britain. Of course, you got Jared from Ireland, just across the pond. You've not been to Ireland yet.
Oh, he's saying, wow, thank you for being with me.
Are we the translators?
Bonjour, welcome. I think they translated. I think he asked in French.
Okay, let's let it go in English.
9.5, is that hard for you?
Not really. Same at champs, we had to play at like 8 AM in the, I think it was the losers finals or losers semi-finals.
Si, messieurs, to play against those big teams, but it's voilà, le temps de se mettre en jambes, ils ont l'air d'être plutôt détendus, ce qui est assez agréable, parce que ça veut dire que finalement la pression n'est pas trop palpable. Face à eux, ils nous viennent des États-Unis. Très grosse équipe. Applaudissements pour les NVS. J'ai dit Cap avec moi. Pareil, j'ai envie de dire comment est-ce qu'on sent quand on vient. Donc eux, ils viennent de l'open bracket, c'est-à-dire qu'ils ont déjà fait quasiment
I don't think was there, but I went to Josh. Like we were talking about Josh. He was like 14 years old. I don't think he was there. You said it yesterday about how you talking about Josh understand things because he says 8 times. Yeah. And he said it yesterday about how you finally understand things because he says it 8 times. Yeah. He was about the same. Only he had he's not the voice. A tall gentleman now. He was about, but you know, he's matured. He's kind of finding himself a tall kind of a gentleman now anyway. But you know, he's matured. And he's kind of finding himself in a kind of a leadership almost in the squad. It's good to see that.
We have players now getting in the squad. And then we'll be good to go to start things up. In day 2, missing
Apathy.
And then we'll be good to go to start things up. Coverage of day 2. Talking here at ESWC.
I mean, Apathy is not in our lobby. There he is.
We're going to talk. I see everyone on the right team.
I mean,
breakout Hardpoint. Oh, gosh.
He's coming.
Splyce at another breakout Hardpoint. Oh, gosh. Splyce yesterday another breakout Hardpoint. Mainstream. Getting back to yesterday to start off their match for down Vegas where they lost that map 250 to 22. That was bad. Now Vegas with Envy on it. We'll see if they have a little bit better opportunity here. The rig draft now beginning for just a bit of preference 1 between Splyce and Envy. A matchup of 6 of our 8 Call of Duty Championship grand finalists.
Okay, so this is where I start to get a little bit excited, Jack, because we're into pools. We've got our open bracket teams coming through. We've got some real tough competition. And let's not forget, these are 2 teams that went head-to-head, organization, 6 players from last year's COD XP final. These are the way. They need to pick things up. There we go. A nice double coming in from Apathy.
Beautiful. And I have received word that I believe we're having some network issues. So maybe you're seeing this, maybe you aren't. I know someone who is seeing it. It's E United in the 4th row right now. They're enjoying the coverage here of the event. 132 to 118 is Splyce over Envy still, as they've held to this lead for a good margin, but right now I do believe Envy should take over now with the setup they have in bottom cell. Yeah,
Envy have got a good lock on this, and I like what JCap's doing here. He's actually getting up close and personal. That's going to be a double. Tries the triple, but no. Bance shuts him down, but great plays there from both Envy and JCap. They can control this sail block. They need to rotate, though, and it looks like they're doing this.
I see Zuma watching, and I just know one thing. Zuma's saying, they let Splyce get 132 on this map if you're Envy. I think the 3 times Faces played Splyce on this map in Hardpoint, you could add it together all their time, and Splyce wouldn't have even hit 132.
No, I completely agree with you
there.
there.
It's just like the anomaly between those two teams. Like Splyce, it's like a mind block they just can't get through. You know Splyce is a much better team than it, and they're showing it right now, keeping this one close. The worry for me, though, Apathy now starting to heat up. He's 13 and 12 on a 4 streak, calling in the Scarab. Envy now beginning to wake up a little bit. And you said prior to this one, it looked like they were trying to wipe the tire out of their eyes, and I think it's now finally happened.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, John, Apathy, both starting 5 and 10 now. 12 and 12, 13 and 12. They're turning this game around, both in scoreline and kills themselves. 25 seconds low on the graveyard. Apathy looking maybe for that rotate. He's going to be pushing forward, but not other than Mad Cat. He's at the back. He will get a double. But right now, all the points are still going to Envious. This is looking good. They could break 200, but Splyce, they're going to clean that one up.
This is the game for me. Does Splyce get the kills on rotation and stop Envy from breaking in towards this bottom commissary hardpoint? The first engagements will go down now. John to challenge, hitting that outer wall run. He's got teammates behind him, and I think that you can't let them get this close. You cannot let them get into the hill.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to stop them as they're hitting the wall run. Envy looking to trade efficiently. Thankfully, Jern, though, with the 2-piece should be enough. No! JCap cuts him down. He earns a spawn for one of his teammates in the back of the map. And now Envy are going to look to completely blow up in this lead right now.
The thing there that Jerd did so well, he got the double kill and he traded out. He was waiting for Josh to pick up that kill, but he didn't. That was the big change. JCap clutches up. He's going to hit 20. He's on a 3 streak now already. He's pushing out. He wants more.
Dude, JCap is elite, man. 21 and 15 on a 4 streak. Earlier in this game when Splyce had the lead, they were, for the most part, positive in the slaying. Now it's a completely different story. JCap, Slasher, Apathy have all come to life, and it reflects in the score. Envy now up 220 to 146. As Splyce have just, you take the last, 4 hills, they've maybe gotten 15 seconds?
Yeah, it's really not been a good time, the second side for Splyce. However, we're going back to those central rooftops, and again, I love this flank from JCap. He's come right round the back. He's going to clean up Bance, and not only clean up Bance, he's got his score streaks as ready. He's got his payload as well. He is fully stacked right now.
We know how great those streaks can be in the hands of JCap. One of the better players of utilizing them at the correct time, not just spamming them to get them out of the map. Bringing them up at the right area is so key. When you think of this map, you think of either this middle hill can be very useful, which you see some Trinity rockets come on down, but also as we move towards Grave after the cell block hill. Envy, though, with the streaks coming in right now, tells me one thing. They want to win this game right here, right now, 239 to 160. 2 players now challenge. 1 kill goes in the favor of Envious. Splyce, they have to push. They have one last opportunity. Mad Cat is here. I don't think it's going to be enough. Envy will take map number 1, 250 to 160 over Splyce.
And wow, I'm not going to say a comeback, because this was pretty even, for a very, very long time.
Yep.
But that second side, the second half, if you like, Envious took every single point that was given to them. Splyce, they went back to that kind of same flat-looking Splyce that we've seen on this map. They started well. They couldn't finish off. Map 1 going to Team Envious. And hopefully, we can jump into the game.
I think that's our goal right now. Our goal is to have us be able to cast this game from our perspective. Do you try it on your end?
I'm in.
You're in? All right, you're in charge of making sure that you stay in that lobby. And you know what? I'm going to try to join too. We might as well have both of us give ourselves, it's called giving ourselves a backup plan.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say.
Do the French use that same quote?
Well, they could say baguettes in one basket. You kind of split your baguettes. I don't know. the great thing about that saying is you just replace the actual item.
Yes.
And it applies.
Very true. Very true. I'm just name set up here, so apologies on that end stream. We just want to make sure that there's no way we don't get in the game too, right? You'd rather be safe than sorry.
Exactly. And while Jack's setting that up, one thing I will say here with day 2 of ESWC, we're on game 1. It is on the main stage. Just to our right here, we've got the boys in blue. Envious going up against Splyce. You know, a team which a lot of people still think are Europeans, are the Europe's kind of finest, if you like.
A team that a lot of people think are Europeans. They are. They are Europeans.
I hope they are.
I hope they are.
Just check.
Yeah, right. Let me check my notes again.
European.
I think. How long have you known some of these guys on Splyce now?
I've known all of them for a very long time. I would say Josh and Madcat and Jerd I've all teamed with. I've teamed with alongside them. You know, some of my proudest moments.
Yeah, but now you're here.
I got Jerd on board. He had 800 followers on Twitter. He had long hair, chubby cheeks. Now look at him.
Superstar.
Like
1,500 followers on Twitter. No.
Yeah.
He's doing well for himself.
He's doing very well.
Probably, I think he's almost 50,000.
Yeah, I think he's just over 50,000. I mean, just that in itself is ridiculous. But the likes of Josh, when I said my first ever event, we're talking 2009 or 10, I think it is. You know, I knew Josh before it, but, you know, going into it, he was one of the first to kind of say hello.
Wow.
He's kind of walking around his 14-year-old self.
8 years.
Yeah. 15 years old maybe he was.
That's actually incredible.
14. He was just like the squeakiest of voices, but he was the super hype guy that he is now.
Yeah.
And you turn around as you're playing, you're like, who's this kid like screaming? And it's Josh just going, Bon, Bon, Bon. Only very, very squeaky or whatever it may be.
You've known some of these guys for 8 years. I've only really known them for the 2 years that I've been involved in Call of Duty casting. We're now into the rig draft for game number 2. I'm feeling a little bit more confident this time around that we'll be able to stay in from our end. We had some network issues here on the English side of things. They're sabotaging us again, the French.
I'm not going to blame them.
No, I'm not either. Probably wouldn't be good to blame the French when we are in France.
Quick fact for you, I've made the world's smallest pen.
I like how you were mid-explanation of that, and you saw it on the text, and you just like had to bring it up, and you were showing me as the camera came back. That's actually impressive. Look, I'm gonna get not the world's smallest pen. This is a normal pen.
Size is not everything, ladies and gentlemen. That's a key thing to always keep in mind.
All right, let's go ahead and move on, as it's way too early in the day to be making comments like that. Envy do win map number 1, which is no surprise with Splyce's history on that map.
Of course.
Now in Retaliation Search and Destroy, a map that I saw Splyce be one of the stronger teams at the CWL London event, and it was mainly because of Josh and the ERAD.
Yeah, I think this is where Splyce need this.
They need
I do not think, you know, they can pull off something like a reverse sweep against a team like Envious. I think they take maybe a Search and Destroy. They could, I think, maybe pinch an Uplink. Taking a Hardpoint off Envy is such, you know, there's probably 4 or 5 teams out there that are capable.
And not even that, too. You're facing JCap, who has historically been the best uplink player since it began, all the way back in AW. The guy won champs there for that exact reason. He was great at teaching new players the way it needed to be played, and he's always known and been the best shot caller in knowing what lane is open, where to push that drone, where to go with the objective. Game number 2 should be starting up here relatively soon. Retaliation, Search and Destroy. Wondering if we see a sniper from John. Wondering if we see a sniper from Jerd. Either way, snipers or not, I'm excited.
I'm excited to get into this. I mean, the one thing that you kind of bring up there is actually the weapon choice as well. For me, it's kind of where they're going on this map. Because we see this, you know, a lot on Infinite Warfare, where you have one bomb site that is kind of the predominant bomb site. Yep. You know, you'll see it on Scorch, you'll see it here on Retaliation. I want to see some different. I want to see maybe a team kind of go full force, push it towards A. And whether we'll see that, we'll bring you obviously into it as much as possible. But we are going to jump on board. It's going to be Splyce versus Envy.
I'm ready. We're in the game.
Let's go. Now.
There's the game.
There we go.
Woo!
Okay. Bance, bomb carrier. Are we going to see maybe something different here? Looks like business as usual for Splyce.
Business as usual indeed. Josh, again, what I say, that ERAD is so impactful as he pushes towards his top hotel.
Josh just going to back off here. Apathy's going to trade that one. 3v3, bomb has gone down. Josh in a very, very good position here. Can find one. He's going to see him. He's going to be tagged. Can't stop shooting. He's sliding out of there. But has he been spotted? John's actually going to take down Madcat in the process, and now a 2v3. Bant has seen one. He's going to tag him up as Josh finds another. It's all up to JCap, and now he's going to fall. Bant and the boys of Splyce take round number 1.
I like it. I like it. They let Josh do what he does best. That's get control of top patio, hold that power position for your team, and then make Envy have to fight from the back foot.
Well, we're jumping into round 2 very, very shortly here, but Splyce again started strong. Can they execute? Can they finish? Can they take a map here off Envious? We're only early stages of this game. Josh
All valid questions. All valid questions. I do like the way you put that. Can they do this? Can they do that? We'll have to see if Envy let that happen, as they're going to fly right at them towards this lower street. And who's the one charging towards Top Hotel? It's Mancat watching over Josh. First blood for Splyce again.
Going to be seen in dangerous territory there, straight into the arms of JCap. And you know what? I'm not sure whether that push was necessary. He's going to come through. That door is very penetrable, and Jerd comes off a little less than JCap himself here. 2 versus 3 here. Bant and Madcat will have to pull off something. For me, Bant and Madcat, the key thing here is not letting that play to finalize the round.
All but the pistol. It didn't look like he had a pistol, but he didn't. Dude, the Oni and the EMC are both sick.
That secondary weapon, of course. You know, you can't have 2 weapons with this game itself, so pistols obviously definitely usable. Makes those snipers a little bit more effective in rounds like this. Round number 3 though. So far so good for the attacking teams. Slash is going to strike first. It's going to be Josh to fall. He's going to be traded out nice from Jerd. Let's see what he's up to. Most pushed up. He has spotted a couple, but taking damage as well, Jack.
Taking damage indeed. Trying to push on up. Not going to happen. As they will go down for the moment. 1 versus 2.
Oh,
Jerd trying to get it done.
Oh, it's difficult for Jerd there. He's going to spot him. JCap gets the better of him. Back into through that construction side. But unfortunately for Jerd, he's going to fall down. We're going to see it on JCat's point of view. And I actually believe JCat's teammate, whoever it was alive, I think it was Apathy at the time, he was ready to trade that one out as well. But we'll be going into round number 4 here. Splyce need to bounce back. It's the first attacking round that they have lost. Let's go on board now with let's go with JCap here. He's 4-on-1. He started well. He's halfway to his active camo. Of course, he's rocking a grenade as well, and we'll see how he gets on with this. But a bit of a different push here. John's got to be pushed down. Need to trade this out. John under pressure. JCap comes to the rescue.
John, you got to let him snipe. He's been electric with it. He was electric with it at Atlanta, and it's continuing now in this event. When he's as strong as he is with the weapon, there's no... Oh! Apathy shockwaves down onto Josh inside curve 2. Playmakers are the boys of Envy.
Well, now a 2v4, very difficult. And you know what? We are going to see it leveled out a little bit by Bants, but they need to do what they couldn't last round. A 2 versus 3. The bomb has gone down, and 35 seconds separates them from another round on that board. Bants eagerly trying to search through. Madcat as well. This is tough.
Try to push on through. Madcat and the squad do. Bants by himself now. 1 versus 3. Envy looking to shut the door here on yet again another round. There's just no time to make this happen. When Envy command control of top bridge like that, it's so easy.
Yeah, Envy taking control of map number 2 right now. And it all came from the positioning. All came from that kind of decision. We saw it go to the A-bomb site. Again, it was kind of the less preferred, if you like, on retaliation. But if done correctly...
Well, at this point, though, if you have a good sniper, you might as well. I feel like it's not even the less preferred anymore. It's just... You can go develop a play towards that side of the map. As long as you trust that a first blood will come in, you're good. And when you have someone like Envy's Apathy who can just soar up towards curb and shockwave down into 1, hey, you might as well push towards that site again. He is always the player on Splyce that goes here. And when you're good at it, I get it. But at the same time, it's like teams like Envy will begin to realize exactly how you play and punish you.
Bomb has gone down. All 8 players still on the battlefield here, and they're going to push forward. I was Josh not to push out there, but Jern's in trouble.
Jeez.
Will Josh come to the rescue? I think he's tempted. Just a slide out there. Bandit's gone down. Oh, and that's not good news for the boys of Splyce. It's all up to Mad Cat here now in a 1 versus 3.
They've got to know exactly where he is. Mad Cat, he's going to get pushed from 2 different areas. Full challenge him first inside Bike Shop. Not going to happen. Envy with the 4v4 retake. JCap having a fantastic first series in pool play. Went fully streaked out in map 1. Fully streaked out now in game 2. The guy is 8-1. You look at how that play all broke down. Jordan was doing an impeccable job of staying alive, letting his teammates try to make a play, but in the end, it's just nothing. Splices, they just played it so passively.
Yeah, and I believe that's an 8-kill streak as well for JCap. So not only he's rocking the payload, but he's got the streaks.
And you saw how the minimap was developing, right?
Yeah.
They were distracting Jordan top bedroom. They had Josh there as well. And 2 Envy players, one went top market, which I believe was JCap, the other flanked all the way around towards lower bike. And at that point, they've got such a pinch and a hold on where Splyce are, there was no chance of them winning.
Well, will we see the payload come into effect straight away? One thing I do like to see is when teams are leading, they use this payload to extend that and to drive it home before the other team can even try and get a payload themselves. Josh has already picked up 1 kill, though. That's straight into John. Envious now. They have to fight from behind.
Again, trying to be the first one to make something happen for his team. If you look at your map, though, 3 players of Splyce are basically holding hands with each other as they move across the map. Smart play by them. But somehow, those 3 players who are together, one gets picked off. Now another gunfight win for Slasher. And Momo, you look frustrated.
Yeah, it's because I simply just changed off him at the wrong time.
Oh,
but
okay.
each player picks up a kill. We finally see one there, but it is just Envy just doing what they do best here. They're all winning their individual gunfights. They weren't really in together. You know, you said Splyce, they were holding hands. Envy like split up, look for clues. They nailed the job.
And again, Apathy gets that first kill and immediately just dips away. Does not even try to fight the engagement. Just gets out his life. He knows that's more important.
Well, Josh and the boys of Splyce, can they do what a lot may think is impossible? 5 rounds back-to-back is what they need. They're going fast. They're going straight onto this A site. They're changing things up. Working well. Jern picks up 1. JCap falls, taking off that streak now.
JCap finally dead. Apparently 9-1 was enough for him to finally say, okay, JCap, it's time to calm down. Envy again. Oh! Slasher with the cluster grenade gets 2. 2 versus 2 just like that. Mad Cat, thankfully, though, bringing the numbers back a bit. Oh! Yeah, but he stays on the map.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I think he was jumping into the water. He's got to fight.
I thought he was taking a swim for a second, but he's not. He's not. He's staying alive and tries his best to bust around up.
Yeah, Mad Cat just working the angles. And that was a little bit of a different approach for Splyce. This time for them, but they've got a long way to go here if they want to make this comeback.
We want to make this comeback indeed. Make sure that is all set up for you.
So, payloads coming in as well. We've got Slasher, FTL jump, JCap still with the camo. Jerd very, very close to another. But again, we've got something going on more to the middle. JCap, when will these streaks come in?
He's got a ton of rounds to work with. I think you get the bomb planted, you have your team fall back, and it's basically just done. I mean, bombardment stops him from defusing for what, like 7 seconds?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous. And he's got a Trinity. I mean, JCap can just run all the way towards the spawn. He can even retake with camo if he wants. This is so perfectly played. He has nothing to worry about. First streak, hover it. Look at how much time he's buying.
No one.
They can't go near it. They can't go near it. That was right there. That was 7 seconds. Now immediately call bombardment.
He's committed a lot to this.
Oh,
he can't
gosh.
use camo. He's going to use the
bombardment. Is he going to call it in time? Is it going to happen? They're on the fuse. They've got to run away. JCap is going to win this round for Envy. Gets both players to the boys in blue. Now up 2-0. You were seeing, you're like, is he going to get it called in time? How close is he? Here's another look at it again as JCap and crew now go up 2-0 in this best of 5, and you worried as well. You don't think Splyce can take an uplink, go for this reverse sweep, and now that's exactly what they have to do if they want to win this series.
Yeah, you see that JCap 12-2. Nice little double to end that one, but JCap throughout that whole series, you know, he didn't even get to use his payload. The camera didn't even kind of come into play, but he had that as backbone. One thing I liked about that play was he wasn't afraid, you know, he had all the cards right there, and he didn't think, oh, now I'm in a 3v1, maybe I should save them in case I lose this. He was like, no, I'm winning this. I'm winning it right here.
As I said, as long as he plants that objective, run back to your spawn. If he doesn't even get that kill with bombardment, he still forces the player off the bomb. He's got camo to basically get himself right behind the bomb planter and just shoot him in the back if he needs to. It was perfect from the side of Envy. We'll get prepared to get into game number 3 so we can keep the coverage going of our first series of the day. I believe we have a lot of Call of Duty we played. I mean, Brycey's ready. I'm watching Brycey right now.
What's Brycey up to?
He looks good. He hates Frost. He's just very vocal about it for him. And I'm wondering if that now is something that can maybe swing the series for Splyce.
I mean, they've got to start here. The one thing that I can't help but overlook, they've got to take this map. You know, I definitely think that's doable.
Yeah.
Taking that second hardpoint is going to be the biggest job for Splyce right now. If they push it to a game 5, if they get over the hardpoint, I think it's anyone's.
You think it could really go either way?
I think it could, but I mean, to get there, it's a big mountain to climb.
Envy have already won 1 respawn. Now Splyce have to win 2 just to force the game 5. And in Search and Destroy, Envy just looked like the far and away better team on the back of JCap's 12-2 performance. Don't quote me on this, but I believe up next here on the mainstream, we'll see FaZe versus Envy.
Oh, okay.
And then potentially Optic versus Epsilon. And then I think we start our winners bracket, winners chance bracket after lunch.
Winner bracket, yeah, we'll take a quick break.
Yeah, I feel like, from what I've understood, the French culture is very important about eating lunch.
Yeah, it's like it happens. Like we stop, lunch, and then we get back to work.
Wow.
Which, I mean, I'm happy. I love eating. And I tell you what, the food is great.
The food has been.
It's been good.
Très bon.
Très bien.
Very good.
Très bien.
Très bon.
Very good.
Très bien.
Yeah, très bien. I mean, we're both right. We know our stuff. Don't
That's
judge
what it's all
us. If we're wrong, just don't tell us. Just say, yeah, that was great, Phil and Jack.
I don't have to see it. That's fine. Also playing right now in the venue, just looking around, I do see Infused getting all set up. I see Moose over there.
We got Red Reserve as well in the house.
Red Reserve, too. Zero, I know earlier was having some issues. Now it looks all good. I was talking to Rise Nation. Apparently a felony. He's a little bit sick, fellow.
Yeah, I saw him tweet this morning, actually.
So he's not been feeling well. I see Attach over there warming up, too. So everybody getting prepared for their matches today. Apathy, man. Apathy looks tired. He's yawning. He's rubbing his eyes. Thankfully, he's got Papa JCap there to just give him the carry.
Yeah. And you look at Jordan Pants. They were almost like identical. Chins, just rested. 2-0 down.
Yep.
It's one thing I can't help but really. I hate it when you see a team and it's like they're 2-0 down. It's disappointing, and you're like, what can we do? What can we do? And you're like, you just want to help them somehow. I mean, we're not going to help them, let's be honest. But we can cast over and do our best and send them all our good spirits and all. But apart from that, we can't help.
We can't help. We cannot, as they're going to have to win this one for themselves. Not sure if it's going to wind up happening. Either way, Uplink on Frost about to start up. Envy have a rough time on this map from what we've seen in the past. Mainly Slasher. It's just like a mental block for him. He just doesn't really get through it.
I've got my eyes on Slasher. For sure. I want him to perform. I mean, he's 2-0. He's got the right people around him. He's got the right teams around him. So we'll see. We'll see if he can pull this one out of the bag. He's going to be rocking active camo on this.
I realized why this game wasn't starting. It was my fault.
Was it?
Yes, because I'm also joined on this console.
In the clear.
But to our French compadres who are controlling the game sound, we had game sound coming out of both, so I went to the main menu screen here. So you couldn't hear this game sound. And because of that, I was still in Codcaster, and I couldn't switch, so I had to go back in the game and then switch to Codcaster. So they couldn't start it because I was actually trying to spawn in on Envy.
Okay, understandable. I mean, what a squad. Imagine Jack just joining the squad. Who would you replace?
Oh, God, that's an easy answer. Slasher. When's the last time Slasher had a good game of Call of Duty?
I saw Slasher having many games of Call of Duty at Atlanta. He was great.
Slasher, please don't yell at me.
Envy, Courage.
Envy, Courage. Hastro. you're out there.
Do not make it happen.
You want to bring championships back. I know you guys struggled in Black Ops 3. You only won champs. But I can win you champs and all the other events.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right?
Can I coach?
We don't really do the coach thing in North America.
I know, but at least I just get to go on stage and be like, yo, I'm with Envy.
Remember the last ESWC Pamaj?
Yeah.
Pamaj went on stage. Coach Pamaj, he had like, it was like his Twitter bio, it was his Twitter avatar, it was his cover photo, it was the whole thing in Vision. Actually, Hitch probably didn't put out a Vision then because he's so lazy.
No. I mean, the great thing that Pamaj just accepted that he was like, I know I'm doing nothing. I know I'm not helping them at all. I'm bringing them a water, maybe?
He was like, good job, boys. And then when they would get all mad for a bad thing that happened, he would just stay quiet. He didn't want to make them even more angry. I do see that we're now into game number 3. Frost Uplink will be the map in game mode. As we are ready to get into things. Momo, predictions, is the series done here?
I don't want to say do I go with my head, my heart? I've got to say my honest prediction. I think Envy has finished this in 3. I think it's a lot on Slasher. Like you said, he's a player which isn't comfortable maybe with this map. He's not going to have the great start. But Envy, I think that just the way that they are kind of coming out in this series, looking hot, I think they're wanting to end this in 3.
I think they are as well. Thankfully, though, for Splyce, they have got control of the drone. They've already cleared middle lane, and I actually thought he was going to try to go for a dunk. Okay, smart play to at least get in 1. He noticed his lead blocker was probably going to die, so hey, just settle for the quick points. You're up early in this one, as now we will settle. See them immediately get on the board.
Okay, well, Ashley's going to be running that drone, not for much longer though, as we do see JCap just circling around. Let's go on board with that drone carrier. Slash is going to pick up a nice double there, but traded out equally. I say equally, actually. JCap's going to shut Josh down, and now maybe a chance to push forward. This last push, these last wave of kills is all they need. Is it a 1? Is it a dunk? What are they going for? Apathy. So the eyes on the prize. Not going to happen as Mad Cat gets the triple. And now Splyce starts to push out their base.
Remember, Splyce are the ones up 1-0. Unfortunately, blame Momo. He didn't switch the colors, so it's a little bit confusing. We'll get that overlay fixed for you as well. So it is Splyce up 1-0 right now over Envy in this game 3. See exactly how Splyce do on the first side as they're looking to continue to put on the hurt. They're now up 2-0.
Okay, well, Josh.
Oh no, your color's all right.
Yeah, I'm so confused right now. It's just the overlay.
Get it fixed.
So, just out there. I got it right. However, we are going to get those changed over for you. He's 2-0 currently.
You're right. I'm sorry,
to the
Momo.
boys
That's
of
my
Splyce.
apology.
I was like, I'm sure I did it.
It's a little tough. I'm trying to help with the back end of graphics while also cast the series and also run League Ops. It's I'm a 3-man show right now. You can kind of tell by how many times have I not been paying attention to anything you've said as I've been trying to direct something else going on to make sure we have the right coverage for you.
I'm just sat here thinking my one job was to get the teams right. I've done it wrong, Jack.
You're good.
We're good. We're good. Splyce
I was the one overwhelmed. Splyce is good. I like it. Put that. Splyce is good too. They're up 3-0. Marky B has now joined us on the stage. He's actually looking for notes. He's watching us play this. Infused. Infused and Uplink. It is like watching someone that doesn't know how to do something.
Marky's taking notes, telling his team. We've seen him play already.
Marky's probably like, we're fantastic at Uplink. I don't know what the heck he's saying.
I'm watching these 2 trash teams. He's thinking. Apathy, John combining for the double there. Now, can they get a point on the board? JCap is thinking right, left, middle. No, that's no good. My team are falling flat. Can they pick up the kills? Slash is going to find one. Jerd's going to answer back. It's going to be difficult. Tries to go for the beat down, and now Splyce stay in control. 3-0, 2 minutes left to go, Jack.
And this does not surprise me. I mean, Envy on this map, it's just, I talked about it prior to starting. They're not very confident in their abilities in this one. One of them they have to completely continue to work on as it remains in this map pool. There's your overlay all set up now. Again, my apologies, Momo. I called you out for messing up, and it wasn't. It was me. I'm sorry.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. I've said that a lot in my life. Actually, a lot of females have said that to me many times.
I can imagine. Never mind that, though, Jack.
I can imagine. How come I feel like we both shared our fair share of those lines?
We've all been there. We've all been there. 4 kill streak bands, though. He's hodding up, and his team shortly to follow. He's working towards that reactive armor. Jerd's already close to, I believe, the FTL jump. he's going to finally fall as 3 come in. Remedy, big kills coming in, but not going to happen. John and JCap now find themselves in a position to maybe convert.
John's going to grab this drone, and this is where Envy have struggled so far this map. It's this wave of kills right here where they clear out the rest of this building. Apathy actually switching over to the Evo submachine gun. John will be the first to charge that out. He's got 1 player in front of him. Mad Cat now dead. The drone in the hands of Slasher. He'll go for the 1, but Jerd, a quick interception and a reset of the objective.
Now that is reaction times at its finest there. 45 seconds and Jerd keeping away. That one opportunity that Envy has had. One chance. Not going to happen though. Right now they're going to have another half to do so, but it's given time. Jerd's not only got his payload, he's got some score streaks in the back. 30 seconds left to go. He's going to fall actually. JCap, can he finally get some points on?
They most certainly are. Let's go to side number 2 now. Envy continuing to fight from the back foot. The boys have Splyce down 2-0 in this series, looking to keep it going.
Well, I've got my eyes on Josh on the second side. Let's see what he can pull off. We talked about him and his ERAD being almost the kryptonite to some teams. And now, wow, Mad Cat finds 3. Jerd's going to find the 4th. But I tell you what, they'll have to find another wave of kills. They came so quick. They cannot just convert, or will they? Let's go quickly on board with Jerd. Not going to find that 2-point play. Still lingering around. Josh is going to convert for a nice 2. And now Splyce, they start strong once again here, Jack.
Splyce have scored 3 points in the first 30 seconds combined between the 2 sides. They had the 1 inside 1, and they have the dunk there. Envy just off the break just gets slaughtered both times.
You said it. They struggle with this map, and they're definitely showing that. They've been resilient in the first 2. Oh no, not a double. John helps out. And now we finally find Jerd with that drone. He can push forward, and it's only JCap really to defend.
Look at JCap.
Oh, we've seen that so many times.
It hits the edge of the rock right there. A botched 1-point play. Envy get blessed as JCap holds off his base. Splyce though still the lead. Still outplaying Envy so far this match.
Well, you'll have to keep that one noted down. If they Envy manage to come back, that'll be one where Jerd will be kicking himself. JCap, nice triple. Can he find the 4th? Jerd just lingering around. Will he? Yes, he will. Of course he will. 5th maybe? Not going to happen as Jerd does respawn. Get back on there, but a multi-kill coming in for the boys in blue. And now John pushing forward. They're going to go through this jump base, through Robo, trying to convert. 3 minutes left though, Jack.
3 minutes left. John with the drone. This kill inside is so key by JCap. There it is. Settle for the 1. Get the 1. There it is. 5-3. Envy keeping it a 1-possession game now.
Yeah, and that's important. Of course, the 1 possession, that can be a dunk. You could go for a, 2 1-point plays, but 1 mistake from Splyce and Envy could be right back in this.
Look at how close this game has been, even with how much I feel Splyce had map control this entire game.
I agree.
They just had to hold up their base a couple times. I don't know how Jerd has gotten at this point. He's all the way behind Envy. Envy, though, we're going to completely forget about him, push towards this cliff area, and actually like this play a lot of the boys in blue.
Yeah, this is a bit of a strange setup here for Splyce. I think they found themselves in a bit of no man's land. Wow, there it is. Easy as that. 4 down, and the 1 mistake that I talked about, this could be it. Slash has got the drone. He's got his lead blocker in John.
Oh, that 1v1 from John. If John wins that 1v1, it's a dunk. Since he loses it, though, it'll only be a 1-point play for Envy. They're showing up a little bit more on side 2, but now this is where things get scary. Splyce on the offensive. If there's 1 more kill from Josh, he earns camo. He realizes that as well. Getting his camo is basically a free score scenario, and no, the beatdown doesn't happen. JCap. No!
Wow,
no!
My goodness.
JCap is seeing the future.
He, to release that drone, turn around, pick up a kill, the 2nd kill. Not only to do that, but he's calling in some score streaks. Jerd's going to fall to that one, getting rid of that drone, but JCap could have just kept themselves in it there.
Dude, Cap is having an insane series right now. 12-2 in the S&D, destroys in the hard point. Now 28-21 in Uplink. I can't remember the last time I saw him lose a gun engagement.
And you know what? JCap was 1 person and 1 player in particular out of about 8 at Atlanta individually that really, really impressed me. He played like, the Black Ops 1 JCap that we know. He was, the champion that we've seen many, many times, but individually, he's never kind of that shining star that puts up flashy plays or, high kill death ratios. But right now, he's feeling himself. He's doing good work. 29 and 23.
That was a little awkward. Nice slide by Jared on the challenge. Apathy. Apathy with Shockwave, man. It's fun to see. 16-25 from him. A minute and 10 seconds remaining. Envy down by 1. And this is where the potential score opportunity starts for Envy. As he's killed the middle map. Overdrive ready for JCap as well.
Yeah, they need to utilize those payloads. Jared and Madcat are going to just steal that away from them. The problem is here, JCap and John, I just want to quickly see what John has, Centurion, so nothing crazy. They need to not only defend this, but they need to change this. They need to kind of counter-attack this very quickly.
Splyce are baiting out Envy to push through this choke point. Camo used right away, but Apathy actually kills him. This should still be a potential score. Maybe no, overdrive gets used, but he gets killed as he goes for the score. So it will remain 6-4. Splyce in the lead. We'll get back to the gameplay here. It's still going on.
Still going on.
All right, there we go. We're back now. They wanted to show you his face, his reaction. I like it.
However, 20 seconds left. They need a 2-point play. JCap, he's the one with the drone. He's got overdrive. He's got to use it straight through the middle. They roll. They watch the wrong way. Apathy takes him down.
What
but all that matters,
am I seeing?
Oh, 8 seconds left. I mean, there's only one player close to the drone. I don't think it's going to change. It's going to fend them off. It goes to overtime, Jack.
There's a reason why JCap has won 2 Call of Duty championships. We're going to overtime as the overdrive score is the end. It ties things up. That kind of sums up that entire game for Envy.
Yeah.
Like, side 2, they just went for it. And there you see it again from JCap. 6-6 into OT. Now, off the break, both times, Splyce have destroyed.
I want to say one thing. Splyce went to overtime yesterday.
Yeah.
They scored on both sides. They scored in like a minute and 20, then they scored again in like 20. So, you know, they're a good overtime team. However, we're going against them.
And when you have Bance with reactive armor, talk about a great payload to have for a scenario like this. Apathy's the first one dead. Jerd with a kill of his own. It's Envy in a 2v3 in middle map, and this timing window for Bance on the flank could be huge. There goes Slasher. Bance the only one alive, though. He's going to fight for map positioning. Yeah, he's going to just keep control here. A reactive armor is going to be crucial to come in a little bit later on, whether it's to develop that 2-point play. We'll have to wait and see. See what John's rocking, of course. That Centurion not going to be a huge effect on the game. But of course, when you got a shot like that, you don't really need much. Pushing forward. That's 4 dead, Jack. They forgot the drone. Look, 3 of them turned around for a second. JCap now will grab it. Apathy getting the first kill. John now on the pinch. Oh, this could be a great setup for Envy. 2 now dead. Make it 3. JCap will dunk it in. But it's the time that matters. 56 seconds, the time to beat. Okay, so Splyce. The first 2 sides of normal time, you scored within the first 30 seconds. This time, you've got to do it within a minute. Yep. Unfortunately, for those, they managed to drop that first side of the overtime. However, we're going to be jumping into it right away. Let's get back to the game. Let's get back into this one because Splyce, they need to act right now. Well, here we go. The final side right here. Splyce and crew doing what they can to potentially keep the series going on. Tough spot to be in now, though. You're down 2-0 series. You're down 2-0 in overtime. He's used the reactive armor straight away. It's burned. Not utilized there. I think the grenades tagged him up. Unfortunately for him, but Madcat trying to make a run. Not going to happen. It's that Josh versus Apathy battle. Josh does get the better, but he has to go for map control. He can't run this alone. JCap trying to stall the first team. He does do just that. Such an awkward window. Josh throws the drone forward. Jerd actually catches it accidentally, so he'll lose the gunfight, and now everyone dead on Splyce. Envy should just grab this and jump into the sub-bay hole right here and just dance around. There you go. He doesn't even know where he's gone. Falls off the map. Envy will take this series 3-0 on the main stage to kick off day 2. Wow. And I tell you what, just to kind of go back and highlight what we've just seen there, we saw Jerd. He wanted to get rid of the drone so he could get in those gunfights. What he did was he passed the drone to his teammate, and it led him into only one path, the path of death. Your Koch World League champions of 2016, Envy look on point right now with the quick 3-0 over Splyce, and it's fueled by JCap's wonderfully gelled up hair. It looks incredible. And then you added how much it made him play better right there. Ooh. Great series for Envy, and an interview now. I think are we going to have an interview with the winners? I think we will go to an interview. If we do, we will, of course, be quiet and let those guys speak. If they only do it in French, we'll have Maven translate it. I think he's ready. Oh, okay. Let's listen in.
It was a tough match. You were in a bad situation, 2-0, and at the end, everything was in the last match. And what happened? Because you were ahead, largely ahead.
Just with that team, we just got outslayed, got outplayed. Just all there is to it, really.
On sent la déception. Ils ont été complètement dépassés. Ils sentent qu'ils ont été anticipés. Je pense qu'ils ont besoin de votre soutien. C'est un moment dur pour une équipe, pour Splyce. S'il vous plaît, on les applaudit bien fort, les Splyce. Thank you. Et de l'autre côté, on a la force tranquille des Envy. Forcément, alors J-Cap aura été l'homme du match. Je pense qu'on peut le dire clairement. Il aura été dominateur, le MVP de ce match. J'imagine qu'ils sont heureux, même s'il aura fallu remonter une map difficile. You must be very happy and proud because the third map was tough and hard for you, but you did it. And you're probably the MVP of that game because you did like you were loudly ahead every time, every map.
Yeah, definitely proud of the squad. We kind of played well. Frost Uplink is one of our worst maps, so we really clutched up at the end. Kind of played sloppy throughout, but made big plays at the end to force overtime, and then obviously one huge overtime as well. But good series of those guys. What's fun.
La force tranquille, on l'a bien senti. Comme il dit, ouais, en fait, Frost, c'était une map sur laquelle on n'est pas très bon. Donc là, on a dû aller sortir le talent pour aller remporter cette manche. Et je pense qu'on peut les applaudir bien fort. Encore une fois, on les retrouvera plus loin. Les Envy! Envious, thank you guys. Voilà, on a du code toute la journée. Hein.
Great stuff. Great stuff from Envy and Splyce. Always good to hear from the teams after the series. As Envy take that one 3-0, you even heard J-Cap mention, not our best map. They still win it. Envy looking quite good.
Envy, you know, they're continuing their performance from me for Atlanta. The thing I think is, you know, I think they've got a long road ahead of them. I think they can go very far in this tournament. I look at Splyce though, and I you know, just the interview. You know, Bant's head down, not in it, and you've got to expect that. You've got to expect that after a tough loss, especially, you know, leading in that third map and losing in the overtime. I think back, Jerd, that 1-point play. He just hits the rock, bounces off. If that converted, it would have been a different game.
Completely different game.
But Envious, they're looking very strong.
It happens a lot of times like that on Frost Uplink. I see our analysts. They're set up. Brycey looks ready to go. And I can tell you, he surely is. Let's throw it over to the boys to break down that first series. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much there, Jack. All right, what a game going on. And I think the highlight of that for me was probably J-Cap every single round. Now, for me, I think Envy definitely deserved to win the first two maps. They smashed Splyce. Third map, I mean, the overdrive, it should have been a dunk. It should have been a two-possession game. It ended up being, you know, the drone fell into the portal. Like, if you're Splyce, that's tilts you more than anything.
Oh, yeah. I think when that goes in like that, then when Envy draw things up, that's game over for me. When it goes into that situation where you've had, that's the game. You've got.
They should have had that map. Should have almost pretty much had it. I know Bant had kinetic at the end of that. Before we went into overtime, he had it.
Quick, didn't it?
And then he didn't use it in the first half of overtime, and I was like, maybe they're going to make a play with it in the second half of OT. I don't know what he ended up doing. I didn't actually see, but like he held on that kinetic for a while, and I think he kind of held it thinking, oh, I'll use it if someone pushes through mid. They actually went through sub bay, so he never had a chance to use it. He could have stopped that push. If he was sub bay instead of mid with kinetic, he could have probably prevented them actually getting that dunk at the end of normal time.
I mean, it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? I suppose they probably could have used that a lot better than they did, but for me, there's so many questions over a couple of these European teams this weekend for me. I mean, Splyce is one of them, and Red Reserve's the other. I know there's a close game going on between Red Reserve and Epsilon.
Epsilon won the first half point.
I knew one was the last
know Red
time.
now are. I think they won the game. I think Red Reserve won the game because I can see 0 here, and I saw Red's Twitter tweet out, but I don't have the exact score. I imagine because it's ended now, it's a 3-1. So
yeah, I mean,
there's again.
Yeah,
so we talked yesterday about the issues facing. There are rumblings maybe more for FaZe than there are Uplink in terms of like Uplink. There's like a really low level sort of thing if they fail again, which look very likely right now. FaZe, again, that the same talks come up. It's actually even stronger in Europe. Both Splyce
100%.
and Orbit, they're just not happy with their current level of performance. They don't understand why they are not able to be consistent at the top.
That's the thing. The talent is there. You look at those rosters on paper, there's no reason they shouldn't be working. They are all full level. I mean, it used to be the thing years ago, well, 2 or 3 years ago, a team, I mean, you would get Prof, would put together this God squad, and it would never work. And everyone was like, oh, why didn't it happen? And then that stopped happening. You started getting these teams together. They would practice together a lot. There would never be any issues. They started getting better. And now it seems to have lulled back towards that. I mean, these are two teams, Red Reserve and Splyce, that should work. And they should.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They should be there with the top-level American team.
I don't agree with that.
Well,
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to just say you're wrong.
But I think if you take a look at the two European teams in terms of against America this weekend, so far Red Reserve have come the closest to beating one of the American big teams. It's Optic they took to 3-2. But you look at Splyce, who've lost 3-1 to they've lost 3-1 to now FaZe yesterday, and now also 3-1 to Envy, 3-0 to Envy. So I mean, in terms of European teams looking strong, I don't know if it's just Optic weren't strong yesterday, but you've got to give it to Red Reserve in terms of the power against the American teams.
I think that, I mean, Optic probably yesterday probably weren't full, I would say probably maybe not full capacity. Red Reserve had it in there. They could have actually won that, and Red Reserve could have been playing well. I think it's just that there's something not clicking with both these teams at some point.
It's a lack of consistency. I think that's the issue. Saying they had a close game against Optic honestly doesn't really mean anything on Friday to me.
No.
It doesn't mean anything. It's kind of it's a null point.
I mean, Optic have lost games on Fridays and Saturdays and won the tournaments before, so it's...
Here's the genuine difference, right? We talked last year about elite level teams. Neither Splyce nor Orbit look elite level right now. The simple reason being is consistency. If you're an elite level squad, if you're considered amongst the best, don't get me wrong, they're top 2 in Europe, but there is a difference between top of the scene and being what we call elite. The reason we use that term is you should be well-rounded, have no natural weaknesses, and be able to consistently outpower anyone you're ranked above. That just doesn't seem to be happening for either of them. Red Reserve are having issues. They're not exactly being fully on point with them all the time. Zero's looking at me really weird. Zero, I'm being perfectly honest with you. I know it was a 3-1, but I just think you can do better. I think you're struggling to fulfill your potential, Zero. And I'm okay saying that to you because I'm right. Same thing with Splyce. From what I understand, Splyce, I don't think they all agree on how to play this game. I think there's an issue right now. You've got 4 leaders who all have very different views, and they are not clicking.
3 leaders.
One of the questions I have as well is, in terms of breakout Hardpoint, is it the fact that Splyce are just not good at it, or American teams are just amazing at it?
So here's the interesting thing about that map for Splyce. Is it's actually one of their better maps. They actually beat everybody in Europe on it consistently.
That FaZe game was completely different to what we've just seen against Envy.
Yeah.
I mean, Splyce had a lead against Envy. It was 30 or 40 points.
Turned that game around.
Yeah, Jacob was insane. But, I mean, they had 30 or 40 point lead at one point in that first map. So, I mean, that game against FaZe yesterday, I'm just going to say that was sort of a freak game.
Yeah.
I mean, FaZe were playing out their mind. But at the same time, you can't, there's no team, I mean, only Phil has done worse than that at the end of the game.
But, you know, Phil's terrible, but... Yeah. All right, on that note about Phil being awful at playing Call of Duty, it's why he became a caster, we're going to end this segment. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here at CWL Paris at ESWC.
You shine so bright.